This abusive, excessive, and inhumane use of force cost the life of a man.
And destruction in Minneapolis tonight as police officers and protesters clash.
Right by the 3rd precinct, right next to the officers.
George Floyd
it's
has started.
I can't breathe. Please, the knee in my neck. I can't breathe.
News in our national lead right now. Moments ago, the chief of police in Minneapolis announced that he had fired 4 police officers involved in the arrest and subsequent death of a black man in police custody. George Floyd repeatedly told the officers that he could not breathe.
Chaos and destruction in Minneapolis tonight as police officers and protesters clash over a man's death.
We want to start with that breaking news right now. Authorities in Minnesota say the police officer who knelt on George Floyd has been arrested.
The evidence is consistent with mechanical asphyxia as the cause of death and homicide as the manner of death.
I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting.
We got all 4! That was the reaction in Minneapolis yesterday afternoon after the new charges were announced against all 4 ex-police officers. We got all 4, they're saying, connected to Floyd's death.
After days of consecutive protests, Monday, House Democrats answered calls for change by introducing sweeping police reforms to end police brutality.
Joe Biden made a very big trip to come to Texas, to Houston. He was here this Monday. He actually met with the family.
Thousands gathered for an emotional farewell to George Floyd in the state where he was born.
Some death is about waking all of us up.
Near his birthplace, hundreds of Floyd's friends and family gathered at Saturday's emotional memorial.
A former Minneapolis police officer accused of murdering George Floyd had a court appearance today, along with 3 others accused of aiding and abetting him. Floyd was killed 5 weeks ago tonight.
If you do vote, educate someone how to vote. Educate someone how to vote.
Sun up and barricaded still more than 100 days after George Floyd was murdered. Volunteers begin their sweep around a memorial which has grown since the summer.
And we uplifted.
And at the Speedway gas station, like every morning, Marsha Howard begins a meeting.
Let's start with the 4 assumptions of George Floyd Square.
CNN projects Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
USA! USA! USA!
For 4 years, we have witnessed turmoil in America.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
I, Kamala Davy Harris, do solemnly swear.
We cannot accept this epidemic of injustice, which is why we will pass and send, we have passed now. We have passed and sent to the Senate and to the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act, so it can become the law of the land.
The trial of the former Minneapolis police officer charged with killing George Floyd has started.
city council there voting unanimously to a $27 million deal, a settlement with the family of George Floyd.
Same caption, verdict count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty.